This is TWiT.
I'll tell you what's hip. This man right here, baby. Hipster himself, Scott Wilkinson, our home theater geek, joins us every week to talk about big screen TV, surround sound. Hello, Scotty. How are you?
Hey,
good to
Leo,
see you.
doing good.
So,
did you get out to see the Perseid meteor shower?
Alas, no. It was a little cloudy overnight. We really couldn't see it. A couple of nights, I know. But did you?
Well, yeah, I went out to Indio, which is out near Palm Springs.
Yeah, no city lights there.
No city lights there, but it was very windy, and so the dust, there was a lot of dust in the air, and so it was, I saw a few good ones.
Do you do like Wayne's World? You lie on the top of your car on a blanket?
No, I take a portable chaise lounge.
Oh, nice. How nice.
And lie out under the stars. It's beautiful. When the sky is clear, it's a magical experience.
Yeah. When you wish upon a star. So, what's up in the world of home theater? By the way, before we go, I was talking to Rick about projectors. You thought the Epson makes a good one, but you also mentioned ViewSonic, VUSONIC. They make good projectors too.
They make good projectors too, and that would be another one to take a look at.
Yeah.
He wants something small. He wants something very bright, as you said.
Yeah.
Resolution isn't as important, although if you're reading documents, you got to have some resolution.
Yeah, I think 720 would be okay, though, wouldn't it?
I suspect.
Yeah, you don't need 4K anyway. 1080 maybe.
No.
And am I correct in saying you don't want a bulb, you want an LED or laser? Is
correct.
LED or laser, does that make a difference? Obviously, bulbs are old school. Is laser better than LED?
Well, certainly you don't need as much cooling, except in the really bright ones. So they're quieter.
Yeah, you don't need those big fans.
20,000, 30,000
They
hours.
last longer. The worst thing in a jury trial is you got a bulb burnout on your...
Yeah, right.
Well, Your Honor, may I hand the documents around?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
ViewSonic, I misspelled it. ViewSonic.
ViewSonic. Yeah.
And they're known for conference room projectors, PowerPoint.
Correct.
So that's
Which
important.
Is sort of what you're looking for.
Yeah. It's important to make the distinction between that and projectors designed for playing movies and TV and stuff like that.
And as you said, the other advantage of LED or laser is instant on, instant off without having to warm up or cool down.
Yeah. You don't want to have to say, can we just have a minute while my projector warms up? That's no good. Plus, you don't want a big fan going.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly right. Anyway, a couple weeks ago, you might recall, you mentioned the word of the week, which was angstrom.
Angstrom, yeah.
You remember that?
I did.
Now,
it's the new measurement for microprocessors instead of nanometers, angstrom.
Right. Angstrom, which is 1/10 of a nanometer.
Right, so you get a little more headroom. We're down to 2 nanometers, but now they can say 20 angstrom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I ran across that same term a couple weeks ago when I was covering a new headphone from a company called Audeze, Audeze.
Widely considered to be audiophile headphones.
Audiophile headphones. They specialize in a type of headphone called planar magnetic.
Yes. I'm a fan of planar magnetics.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. They sound wonderful. They're very. They have a really open, airy kind of quality.
I have a pair from Hi-Fi Man, which is another big
now,
maker.
Are those planar magnetics or are they electrostatics?
Oh,
because these are two technologies for headphones that are similar. They have a large, very thin, flexible diaphragm that sits there, and that's what vibrates. Now, in the case of an electrostatic, that diaphragm is coated with a conductive material, typically gold or titanium, that's only a few angstroms thick.
Oh, it's so thin. I have the HE560s, which are planar magnetic.
Planar magnetics. Okay, I think Hi-Fi Man makes both types.
Yeah. I don't know anything about electrostatic, but I love the planars.
Well,
They're
the
really
electrostatics are also very high-end, very audiophile.
Yeah.
However, they require a special type of amplifier. You can't just plug them into the iFi hip deck.
That might be why I got the other ones.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because the electrostatics require something called a bias voltage, which is a DC voltage on the order of 580 volts.
I ain't putting that on my head.
It's perfectly
so
safe.
Are Audes, which are Audes?
Audes generally makes planar magnetics, but I went down to their office a couple weeks ago and heard their first electrostatic.
Oh.
And what was really special and really cool about these electrostatics is that they do not have that several angstrom thick layer of gold or titanium or some sort of conductive material on the diaphragm. Instead, they came up with a way to basically suspend carbon nanotubes within the plastic material of the diaphragm itself. So the diaphragm doesn't have a layer of conductive material. It is a conductive material because of these suspended carbon nanotubes. And they can control the density of the carbon nanotubes within the diaphragm and thereby control the conductivity of the entire diaphragm, which offers several advantages. One is it doesn't degrade over time. This super thin layer on other planar magnetic headphones can degrade over time. It can become dislodged from the surface of the diaphragm. If it hits the other structures around it that can damage it, no problem with these carbon nanotube planar electrostatic headphones. They were developed originally as a headphone to use in MRI machines. Have you ever had an MRI scan?
No. But that's interesting. These nanotubes, huh?
Yeah,
By the way,
nanotubes.
Just before you go too much farther, so people know where we're talking, these are $4,500.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to didn't want to raise expectations too high.
Yes.
Yeah.
Electrostatic headphones are not cheap.
They're expensive.
These are $4,500, which is expensive.
Yeah.
However, and you have to buy an amplifier beyond that, a special.
But that doesn't come with it. That doesn't come with an amplifier. No, you need a 580 volt pro bias amplifier as well.
Correct.
Which you probably don't have unless, I don't know, maybe
unless
you do.
you're already a headphone guy and Maven, and you have an electrostatic headphone amp.
So it's really,
and that can cost anywhere from several $100s to several $1,000s. But dig this. Sennheiser's flagship electrostatic headphones are nearly $60,000. That includes the amplifier.
Okay.
But still, we're talking almost more than 10 times as much money as these Audes. They're called the Carbon, CRBN.
And they have on the sell page, they have a whole article about the being used in MRI.
Right,
really
which is really important because in an MRI, they're very loud. MRIs can reach 120 decibels of sound pressure level while you're in them.
Yeah.
And so
that's kind of scary for some people too. I mean,
it's really scary, and
the
they're very claustrophobic. I have been inside an MRI machine, and it's really scary. And so being able to play calming music and having active noise canceling is very important. But headphones are difficult to use in a 3 Tesla magnetic field.
Yes.
And so these Audes headphones were developed for that, and then they said, you know what? This is such a good technology. We could make an audiophile headphone out of the same technology.
So the nanotubes are not affected by a magnet, by a big magnet.
Correct.
Correct. Go ahead.
The gold wouldn't be either.
Oh.
But they have other issues.
Other parts that might be.
That have a problem, right.
I guess the way to understand it is it's like an eardrum. It's moving with the music. You need something that's going to vibrate with the music. Very interesting. Correct. Scott Wilkinson, thank you for joining us, our home theater guru.
You bet.
So how did these sound? We didn't even get to that.
Amazing.
Yeah, they oughta.
I heard a little demo. I'm waiting to get a pair for a review. But I did hear a little demo at their studios, and they sound great.
Oh, I bet.
Really amazing.
Even the Hi-Fi Man, which are only I think $800 or $900, it's noticeable, big improvement. Although I have to say, those IE300 Sennheisers that you recommended, They're pretty darn close. Given they're only $300, they're pretty darn close.
Yeah,
given that
they
price.
do sound really.
It's really amazing.
Given the price, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
yeah.
But they are in-ears, and you have to be careful about making sure that you use the right ear tips to get a good seal.
I like over-ear. They're more. I find them more comfortable for long-term listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this Audeze CRBN headphone, just what little I heard of it sounded phenomenal. Just phenomenal. They've got an airiness to them, these electrostatic headphones.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planar Magnetic does that too.
Planar Magnetic
very
does as well.
open. Each instrument has a lot of space around it, I guess.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I love that sound. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to giving them a good run for their money. They're not cheap. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm not going to buy a pair. I wish I could. But I just can't afford that. But for the time I have them, I'm going to
How
enjoy
much,
the heck
just
out
out of curiosity, would it be the bias amp? How much would that cost?
That could be, you can get a used one from a company called Stax.
Yeah.
STAX, which is the grandfather of electrostatic headphones out of Japan.
Yeah.
You can get a used one on eBay for several $100.
Oh, okay. So the amp isn't going to kill you.
Well, not if you'd go that route. You could get one from a company, I can't remember the name of the company. I mentioned it in my article. It's $5,100.
More than the headphones.
Yeah.
See, I like it that I could just plug my hi-fi man right into the, a good DAC or the
whatever,
amplifier or whatever I've got, because and they sound so good. I put them on the ELAC DAC, and it really sounds great.
Oh, that must be wonderful. Great. Yeah. Well, you got one of those ELAC. What's it called?
It's just a little amp / DAC that I hook up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I didn't want to put
portable, I don't think.
No, I just didn't want to put a whole AV receiver in the bedroom.
Sure.
So
sure. You plug the hi-fi man into that, and you kick back, and you're transported.
EA 101 EQ. That's what it is. It's an EA.
It's an EA. Okay.
Yeah.
ELAC amplifier.
It's designed to go with their debut twos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
That's a nice.
I'm very happy. The sound
ELAC
is just excellent.
Is good with their model names too. EA, ELAC amp.
Yeah, you know what it is. Yeah.
You know what it is.
Yeah. And I have ELAC. I ended up just upgrading all the speakers in the house to ELAC, so that's worked out well. I like the sound of those a lot.
The fellow I was visiting in Indio, he got some ELAC speakers based on my recommendation. He said, "Oh man, those just sound so good."
Yeah, perfectly happy with those.
Yep.
And I was listening to some Guy Clark music, wearing my new cowboy hat, and it just made me, transported me to another time, another era. Like desperados waiting for a train. All right, you want to stick around to the top of the hour, sir?
Sure, happy to.
Thank you. I guess, it's only 30 seconds.
It's only 30 seconds.
It's only 30
By the way,
seconds.
I do have an article about the Audeze CRBN.
Let me plug that
on Tech Hive, but it's a little far down by now on the
I'll mention
homepage.
that though.
But if you look for it, you'll find it.
And we'll put it in the show notes. Good.
Great. Wonderful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.